Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
What if the 49ers could pick one rookie to just absolutely succeed? Would it raise kind of the entirety of the defense or offensive unit? And I get the case for somebody that would say, well, Mikael Williams, first-round pick, the defensive tackle room, Alfred Collins, it was awful, one of the worst in the NFL last year. So, yeah, let's go with those two guys. But part of me says, man, if I could pick one rookie to just come out of the gate and just light it all on fire, I think I would pick Upton Stout, because that cornerback room is just devoid of depth. You've got two studs, Renardo Green, once he's fully healthy, Diamador Lenore for sure. Outside of that, it is just a lot of question marks, and I truly do believe the outside corner position is the shallowest on this entire roster, and that's with the addition of Eli Apple, who does bring a veteran presence and a lot of experience, but let's just be honest, there's an issue there. And if Upton Stout can just lock down that nickel role, that allows Demo to stay outside, which Kyle Shanahan wants. That allows Renardo Green to stay outside, which I think everybody wants. And then you have your solid core three. And you can develop some depth with Trey Brown, Dallas Flowers, Darrell Luter, whomever. But you look at the defensive tackle room, like even if Alfred Collins doesn't hit, you have CJ West, who is, man, awesome. And even if Mikael Williams doesn't hit, you still have Yetur Gross-Matos. You still have Bryce Huff. Like, there are guys that can come in and play that number 2 and 3 spot in those units. Nickel, I don't know. I really, really don't. And, the Upton Stout pick was a good pick. I'm not even sure that's what the 49ers wanted to do. I'm pretty sure they wanted to go offensive line there, but 6 offensive linemen went 12 picks before him, including back-to-back Raider picks. We'll detail that. But Upton Stout comes in number 23 on our roster countdown, and, man, I freaking love him. Watching his tape, besides that god-awful red field at Western Kentucky, watching his tape is just fun as hell. Mighty Mouse mentality, just pesky, feisty, whatever adjective you want to use. Dude just gets under the skin of opposing wide receivers consistently and just makes life hard for everybody. So he wears jersey number 20, and you're already seeing him making plays all over training camp, which is so exciting. Seeing a quality cornerback wear number 20 reminds me of some older players, but I freaking love it. Going from Ambry Thomas, somebody that is just so scared of contact at all times, to Upton Stout, who is way smaller, but loves and seems to feast on the physicality of the game, despite he's 5'8", 181. That is the lowest 1 percentile of height for NFL cornerbacks. That is the lowest 6 percentile for weight. Don't tell him that. He'll get out there and mix it up with anybody. Arm length, 30 inches, not even 30 and a half, like lowest 8%. Like, there are threshold teams that did not have this guy on their board. I guarantee you the Indianapolis Colts had this guy as a non-draftable. Well, the 49ers took him at the end of the 3rd round. 23 years old, ran a 4.4440. That's good. 1.51 10-yard split is elite. Acceleration, just, man, and you see it on tape. Cat-like, pouncy, whatever, like, dude just explodes out of his stance. 37.5-inch vertical, 10.8 broad jump. That's top 85th percentile. 21 bench press reps. Dude, tiny. Don't tell him that. Yeah, he loves the weight room. 89th percentile of cornerbacks in the NFL. 21 bench press reps. Like, that's a good offensive line number. So, yeah, small, short arms, and, 5'8", 180. Don't care. Dude loves the weight room. Athletic comp, think of a Mike Hughes. Play style comp, much more of an Amik Roberts out of La Tech. He's a fun player. Texas dude. Went to North Shore High School down in Houston, Texas. The Mustangs, one of the most prestigious programs in the country, let alone Texas. Then he goes to North Texas. Then he transfers to Western Kentucky. Texas kid, born in Houston. And while he was at North Shore in 2018, 2019, back-to-back 6A1 state championships. If you don't know anything about Texas football, like, that is, you're in some amazing territory. 6A1 is the largest school demarcation in the state of Texas. And, they went back to They lost in the finals to Duncanville, my boys, recently, but they're in the mix every single year. And Upton Stout was the team captain on that team. Goes to, stays local, was a 3-star recruit, had, about 10 offers or so, and decided to stay in Texas, goes to UNT, and then transferred to Western Kentucky. Goes there, becomes a team captain, real estate major, love to hear that, and already owns his own clothing line called Lazy Ways. Go check it out. Pretty impressive. I love people that have something outside of football. Just, as the coach in me and parent in me, I'm just like, man, have some other options. But he's got nasty in his game, and that's why I think a lot of fans are going to really, really like Upton Stout. Whenever you see the small guy willing to mix it up with linemen and tight ends and bigger players, and then still bring kind of that Diamador Lenore dog mentality or whatever you want to call it, he's got it. He's going to be playing nickel and kind of nickel exclusively. I think he could do more than that, but you got to start him at nickel. With that body, it's difficult to put him on the outside. Nickel is where he's going to start. He could fell to safety if you needed him to, and he's played outside corner. He's played safety. He could do that, but nickel's going to be a spot. 2-time first-team FCS All-American. The guy has just played at a high level, and if you're like, man, UNT, Western Kentucky, go watch him play against Alabama at Western Kentucky. Dude belonged on the field. No doubt about it. Like, he was one of the better players and one of the best graded cornerbacks, according to Pro Football Focus, to come out of the draft last year. Experience, he's got it. 2,300-plus career snaps. Playing started at nickel, outside corner, free safety. And the 49ers drafted him in the 3rd round, the 100th pick. Another one of those compensation picks, right? But, John Lynch alluded to, why didn't you pick any offensive linemen? 49ers haven't drafted a tackle or a center in 3 consecutive drafts, the only team in the NFL not to do that. 6 offensive linemen flew off the board. The Raiders had back-to-back picks before the 49ers, and they took Caleb Rogers, who the 49ers met with several times, and Charles Grant, who the 49ers met with several times. I truly do believe one of those picks was going to be an offensive tackle. The board just didn't fall their way. Not saying that they didn't like Upton Stout, but I am saying it's sometimes the board goes the way you need it to go. Obviously, the 49ers need major offensive line help, but with where they are, Upton Stout falls in a very key spot. Here's our film write-up, the pre-draft work we did for our 49ers Rush draft guide before he was drafted. Fluidity, sticky but small, elite acceleration. Most of his experience is at outside corner, but will be a slot guy at the next level. Short, light, tiny arms are not a good thing, but the tape is outstanding. Threshold teams will not have him on their board. Feet are so fluid. It just makes life hard for wide receivers. And get tossed aside on occasions, undersized but feisty, Mighty Mouse mentality, always trying to get under wide receiver's skin. I love that. Like, he's like a gnat that just bothers the hell out of you. Listen to these PFF scores. Overall grade, 84.5, elite. Coverage grade, 79, good. Tackling grade, 79.5 for a 5'8", 180 guy, off the charts. Missed tackle rate, 7.9. There's defensive tackles with the worst missed tackle rate that the Niners drafted. Like, that is elite for a cornerback, especially that size. QBR allowed, 90.7. You want that to be lower. Run defense grade, 90.7 as well. Elite. Here are the traits in which we rate him. Experience, 7. Versatility, 7. Speed, 7. Acceleration, 10. That is his elite thing that he can always hold his hat on. Explosion. Just acceleration. Now, his college stats, Upton Stout, 166 tackles, 12 tackle for loss. That's impressive. 1.5 sacks, 6 interceptions. Ball skills, check. 3 defensive touchdowns, 2 off an interception, 1 off a fumble return. 15 pass breakups, 1 fumble recovery, 1 forced fumble. He's missed 5 games in 2023 with an undisclosed injury. Still can't figure out what the hell that was, but relatively durable, which is something you want to check on with a 5'8", 180 guy. Gets drafted. 49ers signed him to a 4-year, $6.1 million deal. Got $1.1 million signing bonus. And Diamador Lenore said, quote, Upton Stout called me and came over this offseason. We studied the San Francisco's defense together. After that, the game just slowed down for him, end quote. Love that. Like, obviously, you're talking to your teammates, but hey, I want to come to you. I want to learn the defense. I want you to teach me. What else do you want in a rookie, right? So, back to the idea of where Upton Stout fits on this 49ers defense. He's already getting first-team nickel reps, but again, that's with Renardo Green banged up with the hamstring issue. So, like, that's going to – is that what the 49ers want to do week one? Like, and that's another thing. Week one, you're playing the Seattle Seahawks on the road, divisional game. They have one of the best nickel or slot corners in the entire NFL in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Do you throw Upton Stout out there week one, divisional game, and say, go get him? Or do you roll with the vet? Do you allow Diamador Lenore to slide inside and go with the Trey Brown, Darrell Luter Jr., something like that on the outside? I don't know how you really balance this, but I can tell you right now, Robert Saleh, Kyle Shanahan, they want Upton Stout to win this job and run with it, and they're just like, look, our three corners are Demo, Renardo Green, Upton Stout, done. Simple. We're rolling with these three young, feisty, high-upside players, and we're just going to roll through the chunks. And that might be the best situation. In the past, the 49ers have always gone with that veteran presence, especially early, week one, whatever else. But that wasn't when Robert Saleh was here. So how is this going to shake out? I really hope that he just takes the job and runs with it. He's a fun freaking player, and there is a huge value placed by the 49ers organization on Upton Stout working out. Because if he doesn't, Trey Brown, Jacob Robinson, Trey Avery, Chase Lucas, maybe you move Marcus Siegel down. There's options. I'm not sure those are great options. Upton Stout, stud, fun. Be a fan favorite if he gets that starting experience. I'm telling you. Josh, thank you for writing this episode. For us and the 49ers Rush team, we'll just keep counting them down.